9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And they got it with a green leaf sway. See bunnies rolling up, we light it all way. Mr. Get us got the bombs, we puffin' all night. Talking cultivation, yeah, we're feeling alright. Light it up, feel the vibe, let it be known. Garden cultivation network, we on the scene. Rolling that green, living out the dream. Shouting about the strains, how to plan it right. Join us every week, yeah, we light up the night. Wednesday to Friday, we keep it alive. Cannabis talks, everybody's feeling high. Sharing secrets of the grow, it's a sacred art. In this cultivation game, you gotta play your part. Keep it real, keep it tight, watch the plants grow. Garden cultivation network, we on the scene. Rolling that green, living out the dream. Chatting about the strains, how to plan it right. Join us every week, yeah, we light up the night.
What up? What up?
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Middle of the week. Halfway there. How's the week
Yes.
been?
Oh, wrong button.
What are you doing over there? You're breaking it already? We haven't even started yet.
I'm banning people by accident again. Happy
do that.
Wednesday,
Not
everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, yes.
Th-
We had a couple
If you
special
missed,
guests in the house.
we do. And if you missed last Wednesday, we had a great interview with,
Chad Westport.
yes, we did. And that could also be found over on Spotify under Garden Cultivation Network. You could also find us under Garden Cultivation Network on IG, Sea Bunny Grows 2, and Mr. Organics.
Yes, yes. And don't forget, Miss Bunny lost her Instagram account, so you got to add the S and the 2.
Yes.
Because she's had to change her name. So get over there, give her a follow, help her build her account back up. And when we hit 500 subscribers on this channel, brand new, it's only, I don't know, a month and a half old or whatever. So when we hit the 500 on this channel, we're going to do a nice big giveaway. Got some cool prizes already set aside. We're working on some more, so it'll be a good one.
Yes. Yes. I like your little CannaCan banner back there.
You do you?
I do.
If you use code GCN, you can save 10%. There's a little.
That's right. And thank you to everybody who uses our code, who support us, whether it's sharing or just subscribing. We appreciate all of it. So thank you all so much.
I do have a clickable link for that one on my Instagram as well, so you can just click it and go right there, and you don't even have to type the code in. It'll do it all for you. So, but it helps out the channel. It helps keep us here. Helps keep things a little cheaper for us because we pay for everything. We pay for StreamYard, slaps, all that stuff. So every little bit helps. And yeah, we appreciate you guys. And Bud Trainer, Spider Farmer, same code. So you can use GCN for all of those. And I think Spider Farmer is like 8%. Bud Trainer, I think, is 10%. CannaCan is 10%. So yeah, I got a dog barking in the background now.
I don't hear her. But with that being said, we do have an exciting show. We do have not one, but two special guests tonight.
We do. We got a couple of really good beards in the background. I mean, a couple of really good dudes in the background.
So, are we going to introduce them?
We can, yeah. We got Mr. CannaMattCreations and McCannabis Luke. How's it going? My
Welcome.
beard too, by the way, specifically for today. I've been growing it out, so I'm
It
not
looks
quite there
good.
yet,
It's
but
great.
I'm getting there. It's only been
I
a few
feel so
weeks.
left out.
Your hair is perfect.
Yeah, I don't have none, so you're ahead
Why
of me
don't
there.
you, man?
Yeah, look at that. No, the beard.
My
is
hair's
grown.
actually
You've
long
seen
right
it
now.
here
Usually
first.
I keep it right down to the wood. So
Yeah, no,
yeah,
these
so
beards all
how are you
started
guys?
a bet, and Matt started growing his out, and then I ended up cutting mine. I couldn't take it anymore, and he just said, "Hell with it, I'm going ZZ Top all the way."
Haven't stopped.
Love it.
Nice. So for anybody that doesn't know who you guys are, Bunny got mad at me the other day because I just started jumping into asking questions instead of introducing people. So for anybody that doesn't know who you guys are, you guys want to kind of give everybody a quick, brief description on who you are and what you guys are doing?
Yeah, we're just two Indiana boys that moved up to Michigan. We grew up together. We've been pretty much day ones from the beginning, and we just saw a vision to come over here and kind of get into the cannabis space and the CBDs and the RSO oils, and it just kind of took off with me and him creating and educating people through social media, and we love doing it. And Matt's been killing it. He's not on social media as much. He's a big family guy, and he's always running around, moving behind the scenes. So I've been more of the face on the social media, but this guy's doing the same thing, and he's been nothing but a good brother to me, and I'm glad to have him with me.
I'm more behind
I
the
love
scenes
that.
to
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But no, yeah, we're just two home growers, and we're out here on the road installing solar. We're usually gone during the week, but we get the road together, so we're always hanging out and talking ideas and smoking, and so we thought it'd be a good idea to come on here, and it was a great idea for you to have us both on at the same time. So that was a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's
Thank
cool
you.
because I have seen Matt on, I think it was To Be Blunt once before. I think you guys were supposed to both be there, and then I think Luke, you
Oh,
couldn't be there
that
for
was,
something. So Matt hung out.
It was
Yeah,
with
Matt was
El
it.
Canis. Was it Seed to
Oh.
Harvest?
Oh,
It
yeah,
may have
you're
been
right.
before Seed.
Before Seed to Harvest was, yeah. I hung out with El, and that was a great time. Yeah, Luke unfortunately
El's a
couldn't make
cool
it.
dude.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
We luckily got to meet him in person about a month back now, and no, great guy.
Oh yeah. Their whole crew is pretty awesome actually. All three of them.
Yes, absolutely.
So
Yes.
yeah, they're doing cool things
Yeah,
for sure.
Harvest.
Shout out.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I think that was the first time that I had known about you before, but I think that was the first time that I had actually seen you on a show talking.
Yeah.
I'd seen your videos and your posts and stuff like that before that, but I had never really heard you talk before that. So that was cool.
Yeah, I don't get out too much, but it's fun. I like to get out and do stuff like this when I can. Luke's kind of got to pry me out sometimes, but I love it. It's great.
Nice.
Thanks for having me.
So Luke's the more social one, I guess. Is that what
Yeah.
I'm getting here?
I've become more social. I mean, before this whole growing thing, I didn't even have a Facebook, and we were just kind of underground, just hanging out, vibing out with good people. And then it just blew up, and I've just kind of had to force myself to just get over the anxiety and just produce it. And you guys have all been so great and loving to me. So it makes it easier for us to create content when we got so many good people that are just vibing with us and doing the same thing.
Yeah, setting a precedent for guys like us, and you know how much we've learned off of the platform and social media. It just to be able to give back to guys kind of like that were us maybe a year or two ago or whatever. It just, feels kind of good.
Yeah, and,
Yeah,
and we want to
exactly.
just show that growing's possible. I mean, it doesn't matter how busy your schedule is. I know we all got kids, we got, significant others and jobs, and there's just so many good companies these days, like the one you're wearing on your shirt right there, the Bud
Yes.
Trainer, that makes life so much easier. You can get away.
Yes,
You can get away with it with the good companies and good regimens that it's all over the internet with forums and shows like this we have here. So it's been a blessing, it's been a blast, and we're going to keep doing it, and we love it.
Yeah, we
That's
hope you do
awesome.
because
Yeah.
we're all enjoying watching. So I mean, you're really putting a lot into your YouTube channel these days, which I think is really cool. You're putting out a lot of videos. You're teaching a lot on your channel. You're doing the scrog thing, so you're teaching how to make scrogs and showing all your like you got your seedsman tent and like it's pretty cool. Like you're doing what I was watching 4 or 5 years ago, like watching people on YouTube learning how to do this, and now you guys are some of those people doing exactly that, teaching people how to do this, and pretty cool to watch. And
Amazing. Yeah.
it's even cooler to watch because like we've kind of seen from when you first started up until now, where you seem a lot more comfortable on camera, talking and teaching, and your video editing has gotten better, and yeah, it's pretty cool to watch. So
Is.
Well,
good
thank
on
you.
you
Yeah,
guys for
my
that.
my video editing is not very good. I definitely just kind of throw it all together, but it's cool doing it. And there's a lot of underground growers that don't show their stuff, and they can't really get the
Yes.
resources that they want. I've been getting so many questions that I'm just trying to not get it on YouTube and kind of cover more in a video to where maybe they don't need to ask the questions. I can just answer it before they even know there was a question.
Yeah. So did you guys both start growing together, or was there somebody who grew first and who was like, hey, try this, or you guys were both just like, let's do it together?
Well, it's actually a pretty cool story, and
Yes.
we don't really tell it very much just because of the restrictions and laws. But we were living in Indiana, and COVID hit, and then it was a little after COVID, and me and Matt, we talked a little bit, but we weren't near as close. We just kind of spread our wings. We both had family and kids, and I said, Matt, come over here. I want to show you something. So he comes over, and I got a little 3 Vivo Sun tent down in the basement in Indiana. I was like,
Aw.
this is what. And
This is it.
this is it. So we just started making plans. I moved to Michigan, and then we started working together at the company we do now. And he followed me behind about 6 months, I think, until he got over there and found a house. And we've been growing ever since. It's been about 2 years now, I think, since we've been in Michigan.
Nice.
That's awesome. I
So
love
you guys
that.
both do separate grows though too, right? But you guys are growing together as well.
No,
No.
well, go ahead.
Yeah, well, yeah, Luke has his grow set up and I have mine. It would be cool to have a community space or like a big grow op or something, but not quite yet. And I don't know if that's something we'll ever maybe do, but for now, yeah, we're just personal gardens, kind of craft and doing our own thing. Luke's a great educator. I'm really into producing rosin. And
Okay.
making my own concentrates and not quite edibles yet, but I want to get into that too. But yeah, so
Yeah, he's got a
So
knack for
Luke's
the
more
rock.
the so you're
He
more the
went,
grower, that you're the one that's gonna process everything one day.
right,
yeah,
right,
yep.
I
yeah.
gotcha. Okay. And now I'm starting to see how like the partnership here is gonna work.
Yeah, we
Makes sense now.
swap 'em flour for rosin, even trade.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. No,
So
that's
no, he went
cool.
all in. He went and got the freeze dryer. He got the press. I mean, he went all out, and his product's phenomenal. So I'm happy to be with him just for the rosin.
Yeah,
No.
it's fun.
Absolutely.
Cool. It's a good
Nice.
process.
Yeah, I was gonna ask one of my questions was gonna be who's the better grower. I was gonna see if we could start a fight. But
I think he's still the better grower. Man, his garden speaks for itself. You can watch everything he does, with his social media. You know, you can follow everything he does right there on Instagram or YouTube. So I think it's really astounding that so I give him kudos for
He's
that.
being too nice. He's a hella grower. He's just not pushing much, and
I've
you know,
seen his plants too.
yeah, no, he's getting it
Oh
down.
yeah.
Well, you know, our system, who we grow with and what we do, it does make it a lot easier. I'll just say that.
Yeah, no, we both follow the Bill of Soil way. It's what we got into, and
Oh, that was
we-
going to be my next question.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
going to be, are you guys
Well-
similar in growing styles or?
yeah. I think he's got 2 3x3 beds. I got the 2 3x3 beds. We got a couple more things going on, but it just allows us to be more hands off, water less, less feedings, because our wives take care of a lot.
Hey, Al.
Al's too sweet.
No,
Yeah, I know that's what's the problem with Matt. He's too freaking humble. We need to bring him out of his shell a little bit.
I mean, you're
No.
a pretty humble guy too. You guys are both very, very humble people. Like we see
Yeah.
what you guys are doing, and then when you
Yes.
guys get to describe what it is that you're doing, you're both very, very humble about it. So it's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
well, no, that's
100%.
we're always going to be, because we know what it's like to have hard times and to
Yes.
struggle, and you know, the trolls on the internet are out of this world, and if we can
Yeah.
stick together and shed love and shed light and not throw anything in anything's face, because it is just a plant and we're just stewards to it. We're no special guys. We just did some research, trying to spread the research so everyone else can skip some steps, save some money, and meet like-minded people like yourselves. And
I'm live. What are you doing? Okay, good night. Love you. Sorry about that.
no problem.
okay.
Supposed to be in bed like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, if you listen to some of my YouTube videos, you'll hear the little ninja's footsteps upstairs. Or so.
I thought I was muted, to be honest.
No, so you can't avoid it. I mean, it shows that you're real. You know what I mean? Like you got families, and this is all kind of like hobby on the side after all of the real stuff that we have to do first. You know what I mean? So work, families, all of that stuff comes first. So
Definitely.
always. But how do you guys manage to put out so much content,
Alice,
be
that's a good
on
question.
so many podcasts, be able to go to Los Angeles and claim your championship belt, and be on the road all week long for work? Like how does that work?
It's definitely been some trial and error and practice over the years.
That's a good question. That's a good question.
I owe a lot to my wife. She's a superhero. She never, questions anything. She understands that we love it. She's a big stoner, so she gets to reap the rewards as well.
Nice.
Awesome.
It's
Always
kind of
benefit, yeah.
pre-planned. So I'll get, I get Saturday and Sunday and put the kids down, and then I'm making 4 or 5 videos, or I'm taking different pictures and different videos and kind of putting them in folders, and then I'll release them through the week. That's about the only way I can do it. Why I haven't really gone live on YouTube, because there's no schedule for us to be able to just be like, hey, we're going live this night, because then something comes up and we don't want to let people down.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, it's just packed content in a day or two, and then put it out throughout the week. It gets a little crazy sometimes, especially with now doing the YouTube. Sometimes I feel like I get in the garden, I just want to just hang out and, do my own thing. But now I find myself setting up the camera and just taking the extra step. And even if it's not something big, wow, it's maybe some new grower can learn something from that video just by taking 10 minutes.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
No.
sure.
Yeah, that's very true. Do you find yourself like setting the camera up for absolutely everything that you're doing, or do you actually take that time sometimes to just sit down in the garden and just look at it? You know what I mean? Like take it in for a minute before you actually have to like give back to the people. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, no, I
do
don't
you
do
get to take that time for yourselves, or
We do, but it's sometimes no, we do lose sight of that. You get in there and you know, we get home usually when we're not on the road at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
hang out with the kids, make dinner, you know, it's 8:30, 9 o'clock. So then it's kind of just go down there, do some, you know, do what you need to do, throw the camera up real quick. And yeah, it's not as peaceful as it once was when I first got into gardening, but I love it. I love helping people, and that's above for me. It's when I get good messages or I help somebody, it's like, hey man, you helped me, you know, with such and such. And so that's kind of my piece and what I'm getting right now. But you're right, I need to. We
Nice.
both need to, because it's amazing that we can grow this plant. We can talk about this plant,
Absolutely.
and we forget how
Yes.
awesome it is and become kind of, I wouldn't say,
Sometimes
you
you
know,
just gotta stop and smell the roses, right?
Exactly.
definitely.
And you don't want to burn yourself out and be overwhelmed and then not enjoy it anymore.
Right.
Definitely,
Yeah.
yes.
But I think like even if you are filming pretty much everything you're doing, as long as in your mind you're still doing it for you, your
Exactly.
reasoning behind it never really changed. Like you're still doing it for the same reasons, you know what I mean? Like as long as at the end of the day you feel like accomplished, I guess is what I'm trying to say, then I think it's all worth it in the end. So no, you guys are
That
doing some cool things, man.
Thank you. Yeah. And we've been trying to get this bearded buds thing going and starting making a thing out of that. So hopefully soon we can start getting a video out once a month of me and him just doing smoke tests and trying a new piece and just hanging out and shooting the shit.
Yeah, that'll be
We were
fun.
trying to yesterday or the day before, I can't remember what day it was, but we were trying to come up with like a name for the episode. And we were like, um, the biggest beardos in the cannabis community, uh,
The
the
bearded
weirdest
brothers.
cannabis creators, or you know what I mean? Like it was just like we were trying to like come up with something, and then Buddy was like, "Really? It all has to do with beards?" I was like, "Of course it does." I was like, "God, got it." It's the first thing. It's the first thing that you see, I guess, when we see you
Right.
guys is your beard, right? It kind of sets you apart from everybody else. It's
Yeah. Yeah, no, and like I said, I shaved mine, and then we talked about the bearded buds. So I started growing mine out again, and he's just going,
Yeah, it's
going strong.
generation 2 or 3 he's got on him now.
nice. How long did it take you to grow yours, Matt?
I think this is a good 2 years now. I've trimmed the mustache a bit, but the beard has stayed. It's about 2 years now. Yeah.
Damn,
Like Luke said, it
long
started as a
time.
bet. Yeah, long time. I
It's crazy.
you know, when we're out in the field, I eat it plenty when the face masks get put on and stuff. And it does,
Oh yeah.
it does get
Yeah, you're
annoying.
eating it.
Oh yeah. So but
Ever get
you know, you
stuck
just,
in the plants when you're in there like doing things? Is it ever like in the
oh yeah,
plants?
yeah, get stuck in the scrog, all that. Yeah, it's kind of in the
Is
way.
that
I've accepted it at this point.
Yeah.
He's going forever.
I know, but
He's gonna have the beard braided all the way down like a Viking eventually.
oh
That is the
yeah,
goal.
So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
not the Viking. That's funny. I know
Yeah.
Bunny's talked about how when she's in there doing stuff, the next thing she'll look over and her hair is all tangled up in the trichomes,
Oh
like
shit.
and stuck to the buds and stuff. I was
It's
wondering. I
annoying.
figured it was probably the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You go in for a sniff or something, and the next thing you know,
Yeah,
you're stuck.
we're trying to train.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Yeah, go in to
nice.
smoke a bud and pulling out a long hair that's been entwined in it.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So what
That's
would you
funny.
say is your favorite terps? What do you look for when you're growing for yourself personally?
Okay. I like fruity, but I do like some gas too. But yeah, when I'm making my rosin, I really want something that's kind of got more of a fruit to it. Um, when it comes to my flower, definitely a little more earthy, herby, you know, gassy. But rosin, yeah, a little bit more fruit. What about you, Luke?
Yeah, no, I keep going back and forth. I started with gas and now I'm getting more fruit. And I think I like a little bit of everything. I like, if I can get gas and fruit in the same one, then I'm happy.
Oh,
We're,
that's my favorite too.
Yeah, I like
yeah,
that
we're
too.
not
I like
picky
the
at all. I
skunky
mean,
ones too, but
Oh
yes,
yeah,
skunk,
a skunky
yeah,
flower. Yeah,
can pretty much go with
yeah,
anything anymore. I mean, we like the earthy, organic-y taste to the smoke that we have because it all kind of has with the beds and stuff we're growing, and it kind of all has that earth backing to it
yes.
with the slight,
yeah.
Yes.
gas or fruit.
So, are you guys doing like no-till, or are you doing just like an organic type of a grow?
We're strictly no-till.
No
We
till.
we just chop it at the stock and re-amend at the end of the grow and start it again. So far, so good.
Nice.
We both done soil test a piece. He did both his beds. I did one on my bed, and they were so balanced. And we're just like, okay, these re-amends are working. We might as well just not even try to till this up. Just throw in some more organic amendments and start her again until it. I mean, I guess comes full of roots. But I think the idea is that after the grows go on, these roots are going to decay as they will also be new root paths or easier paths for your new roots to climb into, and all the microbial life's already in those old roots decomposing and stuff. So
Yeah. Do
far
you
so
guys
good.
use any? Do you use any like enzymes or anything like that to help break all that down? Or?
Yeah, we use the Rootwise, and that comes. We also run the enzyme elixir with there, which kind of speeds up that process, like you were saying.
Yeah, because I know, like, I use Hydrozyme for my enzymes, but I mean, there's a million different versions of enzymes and microbes that you can get. But I
Right.
know with them, they were saying that the enzymes will actually will start eating away at bacteria and stuff that grows on the roots. It causes root rot and stuff like that. So it'll eat all of that away, but it also then turns around and makes it available for the plant. So I imagine that's probably what's going on with some of the stuff that you do, and you're amending it, and then it's breaking all the roots and everything down, and then there's probably nutrients and stuff in the roots
Right.
from amending them, from feeding the plants, and they probably just break down and continuously feed your plants over and over again.
Yeah,
I've always
absolutely.
wanted I've always wanted to get into the no-till, but I've never quite got that far with organic. So one
Well, and
day.
I'm doing a 30-gallon right now. How much soil do you need to be able to run a no-till without running into that problem? And so far, the 30 gallon's been the same way. So if someone's trying to do no-till, maybe start with the 30 gallon, or maybe you could maybe try in a 15 gallon. I've heard of some people running no-till in 15, and it crushes year after year, and no root
Hmm.
rot and all that bad issues.
Yeah, that 30 gallons has been a lot of fun to watch how their cover crop and everything. It just
Yeah.
absolutely thrives in there. It's cool to see.
Yeah. Nice. What do you
So
guys use for cover crop?
just the 12 seed cover crop. It's got like flax and lentils and pea. I think there's
Some clover in it.
bunch of different clover blends. But I'm starting to get away from the vetch because I've noticed in flower it just keeps stretching with your plants, and then it starts getting intertwined around your buds, and it's just, I mean, it looks cool, but it's just
Oh,
maybe you don't want to have in your garden if you're worried about maintenance and not being able to get in there and having a bunch of your buds intertwined. Because then once they get sticky, that vetch is just like little flakes, and it'll just get pulled off into your bud, and there's pretty much game over at that point. I mean, it's all green material.
yeah.
It'll kill you to smoke, but that was my way of thinking of
A little
maybe
extra.
getting rid of the vetch. But the clover is probably one of my favorite.
Yeah, the clover's fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like clover.
the clover only really gets tall when you get like the flowers and stuff on it, right? The
Right.
clover
Yes.
stays pretty low to the ground, I think.
Yep.
But I
Yep.
know when I was doing the cover crop, I used to do the chopping.
Yep.
So when it would get up, you know, 6, 7, 8 inches, whatever it was, I cut it and then I just lay it there as like a mulch cover almost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
exactly. Yep.
Definitely. Yep.
And
We follow that same
same thing
method.
as your
Yep,
I was gonna
same.
say same thing as your roots and everything like that. It would just over time just get back to your soil.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
Decompose, and we got some worms in
Nice.
there munching on everything too. So
Beautiful. So do you feed the worms individually, like away from amending the plants, or do you just amend the plants and the worms just eat what's in there?
Yeah, we don't really particularly feed the worms. Yeah, we just use their top dress with the organic matter, let it break down, let them have the chop and drop and bring
Right.
it down and all that. So no, we're
Nice.
not specifically feeding it. We do use a kashi blend, which is this kind of side note, but it's a stimulator that breaks it down even quicker into smaller pieces so the worms can access it a little bit quicker.
So that's cool. Do you have like a separate worm bin, or like are you farming your own worms, or just in your pots, or in your
I
beds, I should say, because you're not really growing in pots.
Right. Yeah, they're just in our beds. We don't have any kind of worm farms or anything like that.
Not yet.
Maybe one day, yeah, not quite yet. We just have our own vermicompost and all that stuff. But Luke maybe dabbled with it a little bit, but yeah, we haven't really gotten into any kind of worm farming quite yet.
Not only did I
Yeah,
dabble it, I
it's
killed
fun.
thousands of worms. I I was so new
That
into
should've
it, and
reminded
no,
you.
that's all right. I got this worm bin from Uncle Jim's
Yep, I
worm
know.
Uncle Jim,
farm.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's just the concept was just so many small bodies of soil that with my schedule it wasn't going to work. And
That
I
was
came
it.
home one day and every worm abandoned ship and died on me. So I'm kind of tough in a worm bin, even though they're worms. It still was sad.
Yes, yes.
But that's what's cool about these beds too. Like when I started up a new pot or something, I'll just reach down in that 3x3 bed because it's so full and just throw it into my
Oh
new bed
yeah,
and then recreate and so on and so forth.
crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
No
Because I
more.
imagine they're just constantly breeding. I would imagine they're like
Yeah.
repopulating in those beds.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think when I was doing my worm bin, I was talking to Vermabec about it, and he was telling me, I think for each cocoon, I want to say it was like 3 to 6 worms per cocoon.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I ordered, I think there was like 3 or 400 cocoons that I ordered the one time, and they weren't going fast enough, so I ordered a pound of worms, which is like 1,000 worms.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I had the temperatures right or something, like it got warmer outside, and then the temperatures changed, and next thing you know, all the cocoons are now hatching, and now I got like another 3 to 600 worms coming from the cocoons, plus the
Oh.
1,000 that I just got
Phew.
from
Oh.
the actual worms. And then of course during this time they're repopulating, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't know
Yeah.
what I just did. I don't
You
know
might
what
have
I've
worms
done.
in there.
I let them all go in the garden because I didn't have the room for it, and I was like, shit, I was
Yeah.
not prepared for what I just did here. Like I should have just stuck with the cocoons and been done with it, and I probably still would have had too many.
Yeah.
But they were fun
So I
though,
know you.
man. Like, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say they're fun. Like just throwing all your scraps in there one day and then come back like a day or two later and they're gone.
Oh my gosh.
You're
Yeah.
like, what?
Oh,
Like
the
what is
scrap.
happening? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like they're Vermabec was telling us he put a hat in there one time and it ate everything except for the button on the top.
Oh my
And a
gosh.
pair of a pair of boxers. He threw those in there just to see, and they were
And they
gone. Like
It was
they
gone.
they eat everything.
Yes, they do.
wow.
That's wild.
Yep.
Yeah.
So insane. What were you gonna say, Bunny?
I know you said that you scrog. Do you do just training, or do you do any topping, or?
No, I don't do any topping, especially with the bud trainer clips now. I mean, the whole meaning of topping, I think, is to trying to get 2 new offshoots off there. But my thinking is if you can just bend that top one down, the 2 offshoots are coming anyways. So I mean, I think topping is good when you got 2 plants that are just different cultivars, and you're trying to catch this one up because they're under the same light. Maybe top that one, I would, just to kind of slow it down. But for the most part, no, we don't do any topping. We just trade with the bud clips or ties, and then to a certain point when the bed gets full and it's too much, we'll throw the scrog net on and then bend and weave until about 75% coverage, which I've been pushing it all the way to 100%, and it gets. So I recommend 75% and then maybe flip it to flour. But yeah, no
Yeah.
topping for the most part.
Nice.
That's
And
a great
same with you,
advice.
Matt?
That's good to know.
You don't top either?
I like Luke said, only if the height of the plant is so offset that it makes sense to top. Otherwise, I
Yeah.
like him. I'm a huge bud clip lover. He got me into them, and yeah, they're
Yeah.
great. They work.
Oh
I've
man,
been
once you use them, it's hard to steer away from them. You can't.
yeah, I don't want to train any other way. I mean, I can get almost 90-degree angles into my plant as it grows. Like it's just so
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I love them.
I need to get on the bud trainer wagon.
Yeah,
you
they're
do.
great. I highly recommend it. You can really do some amazing training with them.
Yeah, I love them. Once I tried them once, and I was like, oh nope, I think I bought like 3 more packs of them
Yeah,
right away.
The
And then
way.
I got into like the bud trainer pots, and
cups,
I've
great.
always had like the wire and stuff like that. But whenever I make a bud trainer order, I just get it all at once now. I get the yellow wire, the clips, and the pots, because sometimes you don't want to bend it. Sometimes you just want to you want to bring it down just a little bit further or something. So you
Yeah.
tie it down, and they got the hooks on the holes on the pots.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Yeah, because sometimes them bud trainers, they do bend a little too much, and maybe you're not trying to get that much of a bend. That's a good point.
Yeah.
yeah, so you just want to kind of gradually bring it down, or you want to like I know when I was not necessarily scrog, but I was doing cages for my outdoor plants,
Mhm.
and I wasn't bending them to the squares that are above it, but I was trying to like steer them in the direction of the squares on the side.
Mm.
So I would tie them down and kind of like they'd be, like 4 or 5 inches away from the cage. But I would bend it down so when it did grow, it was going to make it into a certain square. So
Oh,
even if I
that's
wasn't home, then I knew that it would be, you know, in the
Getting
general area that I wanted it to be. So,
Yeah.
'cause I'm
that
like
out,
you guys, I
Training's
used to
still
work
new
a
to me.
lot. Yeah, and I used to work a
I'm just
lot, so I
used
didn't
to
have time to.
outdoors.
that's fair.
yeah, and outdoor growing seems like a whole nother boss there. I couldn't even imagine. You know,
You haven't
that's
tried.
I
wind.
You
think
haven't
it's
tried the outdoor
simpler.
thing yet.
Not yet, no.
I grew one outdoor. Buddy got a plant from Jamaica, and I grew it in his in the back of a shop somewhere, and I failed miserably.
Maybe a greenhouse in our future one day, though.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Definitely want to try it. We see your guys' outdoor grows, and that's so cool. I mean, it's like the whole nature thing coming all together. No tents, no lights, just the sun and the grass. And
Yeah, can't quite replicate
Yeah.
what the sun can do. Some of those plants are
Yeah,
6, 8, 10 feet tall. It's impressive.
yeah. The only thing that sucks about outdoor, well, I mean, there's a lot of things that suck about outdoor, really, but wind, when you get like a really bad, like a windstorm, and they're breaking your plants, or you get like a crazy hail. Like you guys are in Michigan, so you're not that far from where I am. So you guys probably get similar weather, but like, in May or June, you can get hail sometimes.
oh my gosh.
And I mean, I've had my plants just get shredded by hail.
Oh,
And I've
man.
had crazy rainstorms, like 2 weeks before harvest. Now all your plants are soaked, and it's just like,
Oh my gosh.
so you really got to be
The
like ready
biggest
for
problem,
anything.
the biggest problem for me where in my area is to be able to finish. They're nice and they're finished, but they're not quite where I would personally want them to be before I have to cut them down because they get all that, the mold, and it gets -0 and below freezing, and yeah, it's not fun.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, we get a lot of bud rot in this area outdoors.
Oh,
So it's
yeah.
more of a outdoors more of a hobby. It's like how far can we push it almost, and you have to almost go into it expecting something to go wrong. You might not get anything from this, or you're probably gonna have to chop early, kind of like what Bunny was saying. You don't get
Yeah.
to finish.
Yeah.
So it's like I use it more for learning. Like I still train my plants outside. A lot of people don't. They just let them grow. But I'll train everything out there
Mhm.
just to kind of like pick up new skills for growing indoors.
Yeah,
So
definitely. I don't think
it's
it's
more
gonna
just
hurt.
something to do. Yeah, it's more just something to do. something for fun. So
Yeah.
you guys should try it.
Yeah, I think one day
We
with the laws, I have to have something where people can't see it. So like a greenhouse or something. But one day I would like to at least try my hand at that. It
Definitely.
would be cool.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Be cool.
You
Yeah,
have to
for
show us,
sure.
bro.
Have you guys always been like no-till, or did you start with synthetic nutrients, or
I've always
did you
been
just
no
dive
till.
right in?
I went the advanced nutrients when I first started, and I had
Too.
2 grows, at 1.5
Me
grows,
too.
and it just didn't work out. It failed. I was asking the wife to do 5 mils of this, 5 mils of this, make sure your pH is here. And so I instantly switched over to the organic no-till right off about after the first 6 months of growing. And I stopped Matt from ever having to make that decision. So
Thankfully, he saved me a ton of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. He showed me the way early on, and I mean, it just goes to show that for me, you know, I garden tomatoes or your normal garden variety, but long story short, he showed me the way, and I found great success with it. And you can grow your own way. Not saying synthetics you can't grow great, medicinal plants, but
it's just more hands-on.
and it just doesn't work for our schedule. So,
I mean, yeah, with these beds, you
I'm
can kind
Synganics.
of. Yeah, I've heard a lot of that.
Yeah.
I don't see any wrong with it. If it works for you, I think that's awesome.
absolutely.
And yeah,
That's
that's
how
what I
see
love
it too,
about this
like,
community. It's whatever works for you. If it works for you, then keep doing it. And if it doesn't, then try something new. And it might work, it might not, but that's how you find out.
Definitely, yeah.
Exactly.
If you're having fun with it, playing with synthetics, organics, or synganics, then who cares? You're growing it, and then
Exactly.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's funny though, like the exact reason why you stopped using advanced nutrients is 100% the reason why I switched. Like I was doing construction and I was gone long hours. And the last thing I wanted to do every day or every other day or whatever it was come home and mix like 12 different bottles of nutrients.
Yes.
Like I felt like a scientist. I really, really did. And then
Our
that's when
stoners might
I
didn't
tuned
know
to like
shit.
the guy at Greenway is like Mr. Canuck. I turned to growing like him, and then that's when I started doing the whole organic thing. Same reason, because all the other ways did not fit with didn't fit with my schedule, and I just couldn't find the time to do it. So organic was 100% the way for me.
Yes. Yeah, and that's what we try to stress. Like, we're not growing better plants. We're not saying we're better. We're just saying we don't have to do as much. It's a fact.
Yeah.
You don't set it and you forget it. And if you want to add in some stuff, you can. If not, then you don't even have to defoliate. If you have good environment, you could just throw some beans in, water it, and be done.
Yeah. Yep. And with you guys doing the living soil, do you guys pH at all, or do you just literally let the soil do the work?
I don't pH. No, I just let.
Yep, just let her go.
Yeah, kind of let.
Right.
I have a general idea of where my pH is, my water that I'm using. But aside from that, I don't pH up, pH down. No, I just
Throw it in and hope for the best.
yeah. As long as there's no
That's right.
heavy metals or salts or anything, I feel like I'm okay, for the most part.
Yeah. Nice. And what do you guys do for water? Like tap water, well water, RO water?
I think we're both on tap.
Yeah, I'm on my tap water. Yep.
Yep. I just got an RV filter. I think.
Yeah. Oh well, for my garden, but inside I don't really use that too much. But
Oh, that's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
One of these guys. Yeah.
Yeah. Those guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, just get some of
Absolutely.
the extra junk out of it. Definitely.
But yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't clear it all out, but I mean it's better than not using it.
Yeah, better than
That's
zero filtration.
that's my that's
Yeah.
the way I look at it. Like there'll still be stuff in there, but I mean it's better than it was.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Nice. Do you guys
Now,
leave it for 24 hours, or do you like straight out of the tap?
I played that game for a while and I did the 24-hour waiting. And then I think at some point I was backed up and didn't do it. And I just said, screw it. I'm just going to water it right out of the tap.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that for a year now. And I haven't had really any issues at all. when I got a soil test, my pH was like 7.1, which is maybe a little high, but for organics, it's not a big deal at all. And I added some Agsil sulfur and it brought it back down.
Nice. Nice.
That's
That's
what I
kind
do
of
too,
I
is
did the
straight
same
away.
thing.
Because, yeah, if I leave it, I find, because I'm in the basement, if I leave the water for 24 hours, it gets way too cold. So
Yep.
I'd rather straight from the water, I make it like somewhat warm. And because regardless, I pH my water. So whether it sits for 24 hours or not, I'm still going to pH it. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you have a fact right there. You're taking notes of the pHs, where someone like with us, we're just playing the guessing game. Is it my pH or is it not? But with someone like you taking
yeah.
notes, pH, and every time, you'll be able to have that backing. Like, okay, maybe
Right.
pH isn't the issue. What's going on here?
Yeah. I wish I was doing that a couple weeks ago. I ran into a major pH problem. Well, what I think is a pH problem. We fixed the
Yeah.
pH and things seem to be turning around. So, but I got lazy. I was super comfortable with everything that was going on, and I was like, I don't need the pH anymore. I stopped pHing it, and then one day everything was going wrong, and I went, oh shit. I checked my pH runoff, and I went, oh yeah, fuck, that's the problem. So
Okay.
I'm not necessarily doing organics right now either. I'm running the high line A and B line. So I don't think the nutrients are organic, but their other products are. So I guess I'm kind of doing like a synganic thing like Bunny as well. So
Okay.
Cool. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess now I have to pH where I was running all organic before, and I did pH, but I didn't have to pH, so I never ever ran into an issue.
Yeah.
So
It's a good reassurance.
Absolutely.
We all get lazy as gardeners and like, we'll be all right.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
you get busy. You get busy with real life sometimes, and then it's like,
Yeah.
sometimes things in the garden take put a little corner here and a little corner there, and the next thing you know, you're like, "Oh, shit." Well,
Now,
it is what it is. That's how we learn.
do you guys check your trichomes before harvest, or how do you know when it's time for harvest? What do you guys look for?
Yeah, I like to look at my trichomes for like now I try to go a little more amber than I think Luke does, but I think this harvest I'm going to go less amber, more cloudy. Not obviously no, I don't want to see any clear, but like I went a little more amber the last couple harvests, and I was happy with the smoke, but I think maybe I got a little more CBD or CBN, and I just for work and stuff. That's not really what I'm looking for. So
Yeah.
this time I'm gonna maybe go look a little more cloudy for my trichomes, and I like to look at my pistils too. Not a guarantee there by the pistols by any means, but it's a nice helper.
I give you a headline almost. Like, okay,
Yeah,
now I need to start checking my trichomes almost.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
Yep.
Hmm.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, I'm the same
Um,
thing. Just try looking at the trichomes, the pistils. I like to look for something we've been kind of working on is like the stacking. 'Cause you got this big stack that's occurring. You see this nug getting bigger and bigger, and then you just see it halt. And then that's
Mhm.
kind of where we're like, okay, now we're just going to start ripening. Now we can start looking at trichomes and everything that we're looking after.
it's a good way too, actually. Or when they stop
Hmm.
drinking as much water, like when you're constantly
Mhm.
watering and watering and watering, and then all of a sudden it's like, fuck, this is just as
Yeah,
wet as it was 2 days ago. They're not drinking at all anymore. It's like, okay,
right.
Yeah.
yeah, nice.
Yeah, follow all the
Um,
that's what we look at. Follow all the signs, not just kind of one.
Yeah, that's a good tip
yeah,
there.
Because when I'm doing like the Seedsman Saturday, it's so tight in there now. I'm walking around the edges, hitting all of these end branches, and they say if you hit your buds, your trichomes are bursting open, and they're going to show amber. And so that's when we started kind of looking at everything instead of maybe just okay, look at
yeah.
this one bud, it's amber, time to harvest.
Right.
That's a good point too, actually. Yeah,
Hmm.
checking
It is.
all of them, all of the steps. Like yeah, that's a good way to do it for sure. Um, for I know you guys are all organic, so do you guys have a certain like IPM regimen that you guys follow, or do you not do anything for IPM?
I kind of alternate three, and I get bad about keeping up on IPM, but I just use like an essential oil, some peppermint oil, anything like that. And I'm not really foliar spraying. I'm more or less just covering the topsoil, the mulch,
Mhm.
anything like that. Just because if there is a problem, it's not going to go past my mulch, not climb.
Right.
No big IPM schedule.
Yeah, same. Maybe some essential oils here too. Not really big on foliars, but I could see the reasoning and why people would. Um,
Yeah.
like Luke's, I kind of, um, I don't want to say slack on it because you always want to be on top of that, and you don't want to advocate for not being on a good IPM regimen. But so far so good for me without being like too heavily having an IPM ingrained into my grow. But um, I'm in the back of a garage, which is kind of it's fully interior and all that stuff, so it's
Yeah.
don't really have a lot getting in there.
It's great. So we did have a question here. Tyler is asking, can you ask how drain and curing? I think he means drying and curing. What is your methods?
We just hang the whole plant, and we both have 8x4 tents that we
Mhm.
dry in. We have two oscillating fans that we're not even actually oscillating; they're just blowing on the walls. One on the
Yeah.
floor, one on the ceiling, and then I'm in a basement, so I got a dehumidifier. He's upstairs, so I think he uses a humidifier a
Yeah,
lot.
I do. Yep, for my dry.
And we just stick around that 60-60. By no means do I think that's perfect because I get 70 degrees Fahrenheit and 55% humidity, and I feel like the smoke is just as good and just as fine. It may take a
Yeah.
little less time or maybe a little more time. I like to get closer to 3 weeks of drying time
Mhm.
just because of the schedule. And sometimes I'll leave them in there for a month, two at a time, honestly, just hanging on the plant and pluck them off as I go just because the time. And if our idea thinking is it's like a giant jar. Now I know oxygen oxidizes terpenes and stuff like that, but we're home growers. So if we can hang it up, set it and forget it, as long as we have a good environment, good airflow, then you can get away with a month, 2 months without even, putting it into a jar.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say as long as your environment's good, as long as you're keeping your environment basically what you would the jar. I
Right.
mean,
That's why we
as a
think.
home
Yeah.
grower, I don't see anything wrong with that really.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
I've
a it's a
done it.
big jar. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you can keep your environment steady, but yeah, absolutely.
That's the thing. If you can keep it like around that 55-60% humidity, then I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I've done that before, and I've had it. That smoke was just as good as some of the stuff I put in jars or in grove bags or something like that. Like sometimes actually, I've had that even come out smoother than what I've cured. So
Okay.
I mean,
Well, in my idea
not
thinking
every
too,
time.
there's no science behind this, but they say, you're going to get more terps and everything. And like I said, oxygen, it oxidizes the trichomes and stuff or the terps. But if you put something in a jar, it's going to smell like good ass weed. It's tight in a jar. And if you
Yeah,
got it just hanging in the tent, it's not going to be as stinky. So I could see where the argument of, constantly curing and burping and stuff. But for, like you said, for home growers, just hang it in your tent. You don't even ever got to put it in jars if you don't want to.
Right.
but honestly, I
Yeah.
bet you even that plant that you had hanging for 2 months, I bet you if your environment was right and everything was good, I bet you if you bucked all those off the stems and put them in jars, I bet you wait a couple days, come back to that jar, and I bet you it stinks just as much as it would before.
I'm with you.
It's
Yep, I agree.
it's weed. It's gonna stink either way. You know,
Yeah,
as
Yeah.
long as
yep,
you don't have that like hay smell to it, it's gonna smell. It's
Right.
gonna smell good.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. If you're going to compete in a
So
competition, maybe don't listen to us as far as this. You want to maybe do a good dry time, get it in the jars, burp it. But for us and all that, yeah, you don't even have to stress.
yeah, exactly. But speaking of that, we haven't had you on the show since the competition.
Yes. Congratulations.
Tell
Thank
us a
you.
little bit about that.
Yeah.
It was eventful. I mean, we went on full campaign mode because we've never went out
Oh,
west, and we just were on Instagram, vote for us, and
that was fun. The campaign mode was fun. We were reaching out to everybody, friends,
yeah,
people that weren't maybe even in the industry. Hey, go vote for Luke real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was fun. It was a fun time.
yeah, no,
Sorry.
I
no,
love that.
yeah, no, and we actually ended up winning by like 50% of the votes, which was really cool and so grateful.
Wow. Yeah.
I grew the Chill Out OG, which is a phenomenal trainer, and it just stacks. I mean, a foot down in some areas where you got golf size nugs. So,
Oh my gosh.
I do claim the victory. I think that's cool. It's more of a content, victory. I think more than anything because no smoking was involved. But it was cool. We got to go out to LA, meet everyone, a bunch of good people, smoke way too much weed, and it was like a little vacation for me and the wife because we haven't done anything since we've had kids, and we got to
Yeah.
experience it. And
Yeah, she looked like she had a good time.
yeah,
Jackie.
we did. Yeah, we rented a Mercedes. We went all out, and it was
Oh,
really
I
cool.
love that.
Yeah,
That's cool.
no, it's definitely cool.
That's
So
awesome.
it sounds like they're going to have another one eventually here soon. So that'd be cool too. If you're out there, go ahead and try to compete. The worst thing that happens is you can't win. I never thought I would win, and then I ended up going to Los Angeles, expenses paid. So get into the competitions, guys.
And the cool
Hey, you'll
thing
never
about the
know if you don't
competitions
try.
too, the
Right.
cool thing about the competitions that I found, like I've been in a couple grow offs over the years. Nothing quite like when you win, you get to go to LA type of a grow off, but I've been involved in a couple grow offs over the years, and really, it's about meeting the people that are involved in it. Like you get to meet like a whole new group of people that you might not have met ever before that. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
getting to actually
Make
like
friends,
chat with some of these
connections.
people. Yeah, you get to make it's networking. Like you get to meet really cool
Yeah.
people that are also involved in it that are doing the same thing that we're doing that we never would have met before. So it's pretty cool.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's what
And
I
keep
always
your
kind
eyes
of love
peeled for
about.
the bud trainer ones too, because they're what I think the last one that they did was like a $5,000 prize or something like that.
Yeah, that solo cup challenge. That
Yeah,
Oh,
that'd
that's
be a
cool.
difficult challenge there.
Yes.
it would be, but
Yes.
I
No, but
mean,
you're right.
like another, you get to learn a new skill, right? And win $5,000 if you win. And I mean, even like second and third prize were still pretty big. So I mean, there's some good prizes out there. There's some really cool competitions out there, and like I said, you get to meet so many cool people that are involved in that. So
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like
nice,
my
Yes.
and you got to bring home the belt.
Yeah, no, that thing is
You got
legit.
that
Rob did a hell of a good job. You could tell he's a UFC fan because that thing's heavy. It's well.
nice.
I love
That's
that.
cool.
But
Mhm.
we were actually, I wouldn't call it really competing, but they had that battle of the breeders. I'm sure you guys have heard
Oh,
of it.
yes.
And
Oh,
that
yes.
one was even more fun. I felt like because you had all these other guys growing the same strain, so you guys were messaging back and forth like, "Oh, what are you seeing? What are you seeing? What do you smell?" So
right.
that one's been
Yeah.
really fun. And like you said, that's how you network and meet these people and maybe find a smoke that you didn't even know existed and you want to try in your garden.
Yeah, we found one that we
Absolutely.
like even doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, he
That,
pressed the rainbow melon from Fast Buds, and he gave me a quarter, and it lasted me 3 months, and I was hoarding it. I wasn't sharing with nobody.
yeah, that stuff. I really liked it too.
Yeah,
Well, even the
That's
flour
funny.
was great. Yeah.
yeah.
It was good stuff. So
Nice. Is there something specific that you look for when you're pressing? Like, is there a specific um trait, I guess, in a plant?
Um, not I'm still so new at all of this, so not quite yet per se, but I know a lot of people that do or that are into rosin. They just you're looking for trichomes, anything that has just a crazy amount of frost. Like that's really what they're looking for. Because then you're processing all those trichomes off into your bubble hash and then pressing that, and it just makes some beautiful clear or blonde rosin. That's what I'm really looking for. But we'll slowly but surely getting there. But yeah, really frosty is, I guess, what anything that has a shit ton of trichomes on it.
Nice.
Well, and I think in today's, weed's getting so potent, and it's all like looking through a frosty ball. I mean, it's so many
Yeah.
trichomes, and there's just the genetics are on a whole new level. So I mean, I'm ssure there's some individual like better washers and stuff, but I think you could pretty much wash just about anything you wanted. You may not yield as much, but well, he's the rosin head, so I don't know. This is just me spitting out.
Yeah.
What he's saying is pretty much true. I mean, for the most part, I mean, most genetics in today's market, right, are going to be, I would say, your chronic or like, it's all going to wash pretty well. Now, obviously, you're going to have some bred out there that are like, the holy grail for a wash. And I'm sure
Right.
I haven't done research for it, but, it's out there. You might have to pay a little, it might be a little more expensive for the beans or the cut or what have you, but
But I mean, if that's your thing, then
yeah,
that's what we got to do, right?
right. Yeah.
Sometimes you got to pay the little bit extra to get exactly what you're looking for. So
Yep. That
right on.
quality. Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
So
We've
Nice.
come up to the end of the hour already, which is crazy
We
fast.
have.
That did fly, didn't it? That's awesome. That's why we had to come
It
on here.
did.
You guys were one of my first shows I was ever on. I was on Grow Me Gardens
Yeah.
yeah.
a
I
while
love that.
now, and
Oh
then
yeah.
we've always liked your guys' style and good vibes, and you guys are always about the community and bringing new growers in and
Yeah.
bringing good people on here. So thanks for having us on.
Absolutely. Thank you. So much.
Oh,
Anytime,
thank
man.
you so
You guys
much.
are always
Yes.
welcome.
We'll
And we still
But
definitely
do the
before you
Friday night
go,
shows. We still do the
yes, but
Friday night
before you,
shows. So anytime you guys want to pop on and show your grows, you're more than welcome.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
yes. And before you go, can you let everybody know where they can find you? We had a couple people ask for IGs and YouTubes and
I'm on
wherever
IG.
else you could be found.
Yeah, I'm really just on IG. I'm not super duper active on it, but you can find me at CannaMattCreations, and then Luke's.
And then I'm the same. I'm just on Instagram, McCannabis Luke, and then I'm also started the YouTube page a few months ago, and that's just going to be McCannabis Luke as well. And that's where you're going to find Matt too, is on YouTube with me. The Bearded Buds. We have one episode out now, and we're trying to work into getting more together because we love doing this together.
Yeah.
It's funner when together. We work good together. So thanks for
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah.
So
Thank you guys.
check us out, guys.
I
We're
got
sharing love and knowledge. That's all we want.
Positive.
I got
vibes.
links for
Yes,
both
yes,
of you guys.
definitely.
Both your Instagrams and the YouTube is down below in the description.
Hell
So
yeah.
Awesome.
Thank
anybody
you.
out there that can't find you guys, just go
Click the
down in the
links.
description and
Look
click
down
the
there, yeah.
links because they down there.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Bunny.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thanks for having us, man.
Oh, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Anytime. Like I said, any Fridays that you guys
Yes.
are bored and you want to stop by and show your grow, feel free. You're always welcome. So
Absolutely.
Definitely. We'll definitely be in touch.
definitely.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Thank you so
All right,
much.
boys. Thanks
Take
for
care,
coming
guys.
on, and we appreciate
Yes.
you guys.
Yep. Take care, everybody.
All right. Peace out. Nice.
That went by so fast. They are great, great people.
It did go by really, really fast. That's crazy.
There's
The last
so
few
much
that we've
more
done
we
has
could have
just
talked about.
flown by. Oh,
I
yeah.
know.
Which means that there's got to be an episode 2 at some point. So
Oh, there is definitely. I don't see there not being another episode.
oh yeah, no, there definitely will be. There definitely
Well, thank you
will be.
everybody for hanging out with us in the chat and for being here. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and like, please. And next Wednesday, we have I'm excited for all of them, but this one is very dear to me and I'm very excited for this one. We have 6-1 Charlie coming on. So I am very, very excited for that. We have Glenn from 6-1 Charlie coming on.
Yes. Yeah, that's gonna be a cool show. That'll be a really cool
Yes.
show. And for people,
So if you don't
anybody
know
that
what
doesn't know,
6-1
it's
Charlie, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's a brand designed by vets for vets, and they have merch. They have flour. There's it's Mendo. God, I can't even think of it off the top. It might just be called Mendo, but they're the growers, and
Meadow
there's
medicinal.
Mendo
Medical.
Medicine,
Yeah.
Mendo Medical Medicine, or something like that.
So
And like you said,
there's
there's Glenn.
3 of them,
There's
I believe.
yeah. You go
Yeah.
ahead.
There's Justin from Green Planet. There's Glenn, and then there's oh geez, I forgot his name, but he's from the Mendo
Mendo,
crowd. Yeah,
yeah. And we
I can
first
see his
heard about
face. I just
6'1"
can't think of
Charlie.
his
Yeah, I know. I can picture him
at the
too. But we
grow
first
up.
heard of 6'1" Charlie at Grow Up when we were talking to Justin from Green Planet. He was telling us all about it, and I think they had a big
They
cardboard
were just talking
cutout
about
of
it.
the 6'1" Charlie logo, and they were just kind of starting to launch it right then. It came out like a week or two after we got back from Toronto, and yeah, it's it's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
so
So
definitely taste
definitely
to
tune in.
oh, oh, yes, stay tuned for that one.
Yep. So
All
that'll be
right, with
Wednesday
that
at
being
9
said,
p.m. And don't forget,
yes,
guys, like and
Friday.
subscribe. Subscribe because we got a giveaway at 500. So the quicker we get to 500, the quicker we get to do this giveaway. And it's only going to
And
be
get
in here.
your
So it's only for the people watching instead of
yeah,
doing anything on Instagram. It's going to be, but
and
look on Instagram for when we tell you it's going to be, and then all the giveaways will be done right here in this live.
yes. And don't forget to get your gardens ready for Friday night at 9 p.m., where everybody is welcome to come show your grows. You do not have to show your face, but you do have to have your camera on to be allowed onto the StreamYard. And that's not because of us, that's just how StreamYard works.
Exactly. So, all right. With that being said,
See
like I
you
said,
Friday.